What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, I'm going to showcase the best solo builds that you should build to defeat the upcoming 7-star Tera Grass Hisuian Decidueye raid for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And of course, guys, like this type of content, enjoy these videos. Please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel by joining the PanFam by hitting that join channel member button below. Now for our first build, no one should be surprised, Annihilape. And yes, Annihilape may potentially be the best solo Pokemon for this raid, as this is a special guy. Even though Annihilape does not resist fighting because of Scrappy on the Hisuian Decidueye and doesn't resist grass, it's still going to be an absolute monster. And you want to have Tera Ghost with the item Shell Bell, with max HP, max attack, adamant nature, and the ability Defiant. Now, because the Hisuian Decidueye has Scrappy, is able to hit ghost types, but that's fine because the signature move is called Triple Arrows. Triple Arrows will have a 50% chance of lowering our physical defense by 1, and if it does do that, it'll proc our Defiant, increase our physical attack by 2 stages, which is going to be pretty massive, and we actually want to be hit by that as many times as possible. Now, the general setup and strategy here is we're going to probably use Screech turn 1, turn 2, maybe even turn 3. And by then, we would have hit by the Decidueye like 2 or 3 times. And our Rage Fist will be stacking. And whenever you get knocked out, your Rage Fist stacks do not reset as well. And this will cap at 300 damage. So by turn 3, if we got hit 3 times, this is going to be doing 200 damage. And then, of course, when you Tera, you get the Tera boost on top of that. So just keep that in mind that all we're going to do is Rage Fist. Now, something that can really help if you get a little bit lucky is you could use Focus Energy, which will make it so you have a 12% chance of actually getting a crit because we don't have any other crit boosting moves. This will actually stay for a while on the field. So it's actually recommended to do like a Focus Energy on turn 1 and then spam Screeches. That's another good combo. And I mean, for your last move, it doesn't really matter. You can flex this to whatever you think is appropriate. I just always have Drain Punch just in case. But because we have Shell Bell, we're going to be getting that HP regain from Rage Fist. And just make sure you use a PP max on Rage Fist so you have 16, because you're definitely going to need all 16 for this raid. Now, Ceruledge is going to be another fantastic choice. And because of its signature move, Bitter Blade, we can actually use the item Metronome as our damaging item. And you want to go Tera Fire here, and max HP, max attack, adamant nature. Your ability doesn't really matter too much here at all, but we do have the move Bitter Blade, and I would once again recommend using a PP max to make this 16 instead of 10. And this move is a 90 damage stab fire moves or Ceruledge, and you get half your HP back. So this is why we don't need Shell Bell, because this move already has that built in. And we can set up a Swords Dance. Unfortunately, we don't have Screech, which I do think is a pretty big disappointment on this Pokemon, but you do have Leer. And I mean, the good thing about Leer, yeah, it only lowers by 1, but it is 100% accurate. So definitely a great move too. And for some reason, if that Decidueye starts setting up like crazy on you, if it like throws up a shield and then is like, hey, I'm just gonna pop off with like 3 bulk ups or like a Swords Dance or something, and that's like too much for you, you do have Clear Smog to remove all the debuffs on it, so you can make it a lot more manageable as well. And of course, you are a fire type, so you will resist the grass moves, but you will be getting hit by the fighting type moves because of Scrappy. Now, next up is Tauros, and I do think Tauros is actually going to be an absolute beast in this raid. And we're going to go Shell Bell with Tera Fire, max HP, max attack, adamant nature. And our ability is going to be Anger Point, and Anger Point is a phenomenal ability. So when you get hit by a critical hit, you are going to have a +6 attack boost, which is crazy. So as I already mentioned before, Triple Arrows has a 50% chance of lowering your defense by 1, right? 50% chance of lowering your defense by 1. But it also raises the user's critical hit ratio for 3 turns as well. And there's a good chance Hisuian Decidueye will have Leaf Blade. So if he has Leaf Blade and a critical hit boost, which is essentially just a 3-turn focus energy, Decidueye is going to have a 50% chance of actually critting us with any of its Leaf Blade at that point, and 12% of any other move. So Anger Point is going to have a really high chance of actually proccing here, which is going to give us max attack. So I would actually recommend, if you're going to do the solo Tauros here, you're going to want to use Tail Whip in the beginning, maybe like 2 Tail Whips, set up a sunny day, and you may get knocked out at this point. If you don't, then start spamming Raging Bull. If you're about to get knocked out on the next hit because you do outspeed, you could just use Attack Shear and then die, and then come back and just spam Raging Bull, because that crit is going to come at some point for you, because it's going to last for 3 turns. Flare Blitz is going to be your tactical nuke. When you use this, you will definitely die, but if it's coming to the wire and he's close to range, but you don't think Raging Bull is going to take him out, then Flare Blitz may be the move to do it. And just don't forget, Sunny Day will get a 50% damage boost to Raging Bull and Flare Blitz, because Raging Bull will become a fire type attack when used. So it's going to be really great here. Now, another great solo, more of a safer slow solo, is going to be Corviknight with Tera Flying, and we're going to run Shell Bell on it. Now, we're going to go max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature, and the ability is going to be Mirror Armor. So it bounces back only the stat lowering effects the Pokemon receives. So, as already mentioned, Triple Arrows has a 50% chance of lowering defense by 1. Well, if that does proc, our defense won't get lowered, but the Decidueye will lower his own defense. And because we are 4 times resistant to grass, there's a really high chance that he's going to go for the neutral Triple Arrows move here. So he's going to be lowering his own defense for us, which is great. And we also have Screech, so we can pop off 1 or 2 Screeches and then just start setting up bulk ups from here. I would probably recommend maybe like two bulk ups, so that puts us at +2, gives us some nice defense as well. And because we have Shell Bell, we can just use Drill Pack, which is going to give us back our HP with that Shell Bell, which is going to be great. And for the last slot, you can either use Reflect, which is really good. However, if the Decidueye does crit you, Reflect will be ignored for that turn. So if you don't like Reflect, you can replace Reflect with Taunt, so you can try to prevent the Decidueye from setting up any Swords Dances or bulk ups that it might actually have. And for our last solo build, I recommend Scizor. Scizor, 4 times resist grass, which is great, neutral to fighting, and we're gonna go Terra Bug with the item Shell Bell. Max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature, of course, and we're gonna have the ability Technician. Now, Technician doubles the damage of moves that do 60 or less base power, which makes Bug Bite the best move that Scizor could use, making this a 90 damage bug type physical move, which is great. Unfortunately, Scizor does not learn Leech Life, but it does make up with that because it does get Swords Dance. So you can set up some Sword Dance and then start spamming Bug Bite with that Shell Bell recovery. You're going to be doing some big stab, super effective, and Terra boosted damage. You do have Leer to lower the defense as well, which is pretty decent. And then you can set up a Focus Energy if you want to try to get lucky and get your critical hits in as well. But from the list here, I mean, if you were to only build a few of them, I think everyone should already have an Annihilape to try out no matter what. I do think Ceruledge is going to be relatively safe as well with that Metronome, of course, because, Metronome is going to further boost the damage of the more you spam Bitter Blade in a row. That's going to be really good. I think Corviknight is going to be incredibly safe here for sure. I just think it's going to be the slowest one. Tauros, I think, is going to be the most exciting one to try. And then I think Scizor might be the worst out of all of these. But there you have it, guys. Those are my solo builds for the upcoming 7-star Grass Tera Hisuian Decidueye raid. Good luck on this raid. We'll be live streaming this raid, of course. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a good one.